So good morning. So here we are on the last Sunday of Advent, celebrating joy. Joy. We're taking a look at joy today. I'm going to be talking about that. Taking a look at it in our progression that we've been doing over the weeks, the progression of our spiritual celebration of our way shower and teacher, Jesus the Christ, and his birth and his coming into the world. We've been preparing for this celebration for quite a while now. For weeks and weeks and weeks, we've been celebrating. We've had Christmas parties and Santa parades and boat parades and golf cart parades and bike parades. There are lights on houses, lights in trees. The evidence of celebration is everywhere. I say evidence because that's just what it is. It's evidence of the real celebration that's going on. The real celebration is a celebration within ourselves, a celebration in our hearts, a celebration of the truth of our being. It's the true celebration that is within you and everyone celebrating this holiday season. The real celebration is happening at the level of being which knows and expresses the truth at all times. Today we're celebrating joy. Well, joy is the essence of your being. The Christ of you is always experiencing joy, is always expressing joy. The truth of you is joy. You're Christ's essence. The Holy One of you and the Christ of your being is celebrating with the joy that only it can know. Truth of your being is celebrating because all this lights and parties and feelings of camaraderie, feelings of fellowship, feelings of being linked together heart to heart in this one joyous time of year, the truth of you can finally come out. It can finally be revealed to the world and not be ridiculed. You can be joyous and happy for no darn reason at all during this season, and people don't give it any never mind. Well, it's Christmas, so yeah, they're joyous. Well, just as we did in the celebration, the world needs your light. And your light comes through your joy of life, your joy of living, your joy of just being here and breathing the air. That's your light. That's how you express it. It's with your joy and the love that you share, because that's the love that you are. And this time of year, we can do it unabashedly. During this yearly celebration of the Christ, we are recognizing and celebrating the Christ within ourselves also. We are attuned with the kinship of all of humanity. We realize that we are not just thrown into this world to figure it out for ourselves. We come to the understanding that we are one great body of Christed humanity. We are here to figure it out together, each with something important to add. Each will bring forth a rise in the consciousness of the whole of humanity. Each of us is here to play a part in the awakening of humanity, which is taking place right now. You know, joy is often thought of as an emotion. The truth is, joy is more of an experience. Joy is an experience. You cannot physically see, feel, taste, or smell joy. I don't know, there's some punches out there that that could do that. Joy is a transcendent experience. It's transcendent because it merges our spiritual and our physical experience together. Theologian Dom Joseph Merriman tells us joy is the echo of God's life within us. The echo of God's life within us. Joy is not something you have to look for. We often look for joy in things we do. We look for joy in our hobbies. We look for joy in our work. We look for joy in sports. We look for joy in things that we do. We're relating joy with happiness. And that's good because joy is the foundation of happiness. That's where happiness springs from, is from that eternal presence of joy that is always with you. And when we're doing something that we can focus on, that we can feel our creative energies moving, that we can feel expressive, we're activating that joyous presence. That is the truth of our being. And so we naturally feel happy. Joy is felt in the pride of a parent at the success of their children. Joy is felt in the appreciation of nature. Joy is felt by saying yes to life itself. The presence of joy is a common denominator between Eastern and Western spiritual practices. In the Eastern culture, it's called bliss. One of the most powerful mantras we have from Eastern cultures is, I am awareness, consciousness, bliss. I am awareness, consciousness, bliss. I keep wanting to say that because that's one of my practices. But in response to a question asked him, the master teacher, Ramana Maharshi, answered, bliss is a thing which is always there. It is not something which comes and goes. That which comes and goes is a creation of the mind, and you should not worry about it. So even our Eastern cultures tell us bliss is always there. It's who you are. It's the expression of the light of your being. Master teacher Jesus the Christ speaks of the same. In John 15, 9 through 11. He says, as the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love. Just as I have kept my Father's commandments, and I abide in his love. I have said these things so that you may know my joy, that my joy may be in you, and your joy may be complete. So what are his two commandments? Love God with all your heart, all your strength, all your mind, and all your soul. And the second is love your neighbor as yourself. Those are it. That's it. Boom. Two, that's all you got. That's not a lot. It's not 10, it's 2. And if you do these 2 things, you're moving into the realm of really being awake, aware, and active in spirit. He's telling us to be like the dude in Abide. Abide in the love of God. Be in and with that love of God that you truly are, and you will experience joy. The bliss of the experience of the presence of God, just as he does. Charles Fillmore, in his book Mysteries of Genesis, tells us those who persistently exercise faith in God find that there is generated in their mind a condition that gradually grows into a conviction of the permanent presence of the divine substance within. And this gives rise to the most exquisite joy. I am awareness, consciousness, bliss. This is a teaching that spans the ages. It spans religions. It spans spiritual practice. The idea of living a life focused in spirit brings forth living a life in consistent joy. Joy of life. We can feel joy as we look at the lights, as we listen to the carols, as we taste the punch. We can do all these things because it is that transcendent experience. And while it isn't activated by our senses bring the idea of joy out. They help to bring the joy out into expression. It is naturally and always present. And as we see the lights, as we hear the carols, as we experience each other in a way that we usually only do once a year, that joy is activated and it comes out. And it is the truth of you expressing. And it is good, is it not? Yeah, I think so. It takes being open to it. We don't have to just be joyous during the Christmas season. There's people, I'm sure there's people that you know that are joyous and happy all the time. Even when there doesn't seem to be any reason to be joyous and happy, they are joyous and happy. Because they know that no matter what, life is good. Life is life, and life is good. And they're tuned into that. There's Lily Tomlin did a character. Lily Tomlin did a character where it was always Christmas. And it just bugged the heck out of people around her. But when she explained it, it was such a beautiful explanation. That the feeling of Christmas is always here. It's always here, so why should we just do it for a couple weeks of the year? Why not hold it with us all the time? Why not be that joyous Christmas presence all the time? There's no reason to limit it to 2 weeks out of the year or a month. Or if you're in Walmart, 2-3 months. I mean, there are Christmas stores that are open 365 days a year. Joy is the presence of God in the moment, in whatever moment you're having. Teilhard de Chardin says that joy is the most infallible sign. Joy is the most infallible sign of the awareness of the presence of God. So this week, friends, as we begin to close in on the reason for the season, be aware of your heart. Feel the transition from an ordinary life to a life of joy. The life of joy that you share. The life of joy that you are in the midst of. The life of joy that as the love of God moves through you, as the love of God moves through every beat of your heart, you know that it's the Christ of you saying yes to life and all that it brings, because it's a joyous thing. God blesses you.